Experience the difference. Beyond the cloud. Your desktop, your mobility, and your security, 24/7 support. Take your business beyond the cloud. Work less, worry less, effortless.
Is the microphone on?
Welcome back to Everything All the Time. I'm Pat O'Brien, Howard Bragman, my buddy, and Court McGowan, my other buddy.
Yeah.
His buddy now.
Yeah,
Who knows?
My buddy.
And it's Howard's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday a day early.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a big ugly one.
60.
But you know what?
It's nothing.
Pat, I lost my mother in November. I lost my father the September before that, and I wasn't going to do it. I told this. Went to dinner with some people Saturday night, and I said I wasn't going to do a party. And I stopped, and I said, you know what? My parents lived 65 years, had a marriage of 65 years. Great love, pretty decent kids, and I'm a blessed guy. And as a gay man who's going to be 60, you and I know literally hundreds of people we've lost, and I'm looking at life through the lens of gratitude right now.
As you
Probably
should.
gonna be a hell of a party, right?
Well, I haven't been invited yet.
I don't know. It started about 2 weeks ago in New York. People started taking me out to dinner, and it's.
I know I'm getting invited now.
You're a
Well, it's going to be a smaller party, but yeah, you're there. You're there, Court.
By the way, we're brought to you, but not by the way, we are brought to you by Effortless. If you're going to the cloud, and that means if you're putting your information on the
like
cloud.
A drug reference
and
to me.
And a lot of people don't understand what the cloud is. And
no, I don't think
it's in the conversation now, the whole Apple thing. We'll get to that in a minute. But they'll build you a desktop anywhere. They'll put it out on all your behind us. You put it out on all your devices, and they'll organize it. They'll navigate. They'll talk to you about it. They are the Howard Bragman of encryption. How's that sound?
I'm in the truth business, not the encryption business.
Well, let's talk about encryption. How come Mel Gibson went free?
I don't think Mel Gibson has gone free in that sense. I think Mel Gibson paid a very high price for his indiscretions. I don't think Mel Gibson has
tickets.
He went to the Golden Globes and did an appearance that was bleh. He's only been in Jodie Foster's movie. Nobody's hiring him for a mainstream movie, and nobody will. I think Mel Gibson is not whole again. So I don't think Mel Gibson went free. I think he paid a very expensive price for his work.
At what point do you, Howard Bragman's our guest from 15 Minutes, 15minutes.com, right? Is it .com or .org?
Allletters.com.
Yeah.
All letters, no numbers.
No numbers. At what point does somebody call you? When you get into a scandal, because of TMZ, then we've already established that they're credible. But the National Enquirer and all these moronic magazines, before they get to it and they call you.
Well, it's really, that's one of the hardest things you have to do.
And that
is, when you make if you respond to an allegation out there, are you going to make this bigger, or are you, I call myself a spin doctor. You do what your doctor does. You go in and you say, Doc, I got this thing growing on my hand, and you show him this little red spot. And he says, we're going to do watchful waiting. And in 2 days, that thing's either going to get big and gnarly, or it's going to resolve itself and go away. And I think there's a lot of judgment call, and the last thing you want to do is throw gasoline on the embers and make a fire. The other determination I have to make is people call me and go, oh my God, I'm in a horrible crisis. And I have to say, are you in a crisis or are you in a controversy? And even if you're in this controversy, it feels like a crisis to you because it's your crisis, but you have to be able to really say, is this going to go away? Is this a big deal? Is it a speed bump or a sinkhole?
Right.
Do you ever get in a situation where you get a phone call and somebody's done something and you're just like, you know what, you need to deal with this.
Yes.
I mean, it's your morals where you say, like, this
It's a
isn't
good
this
question.
is not something I'm going to fix for you because you
can't
did-
be.
you-
Some
you-
things aren't. Stephen Collins called me. His lawyer called me, accused of child molesting. I knew a lot of the backstory from people around him I'd heard before, and I'm like, I can't do it. You know, you have the right to representation, but you don't have the right for me.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, do you get in a situation where your morals come up and you go, you know what? I just like and
All the time.
Cosby's a great example where it's a thing where whether you, I mean, there's enough people have come out now that if the first person it happened, the second person, whatever. But now,
Yeah,
it's
now
like,
that you're at 50,
now
you
that
start to
you're
go,
50,
maybe there's
you
something
go,
there.
Yeah, and just kind of go. I don't care. I don't want to.
No, I would never want to represent Cosby.
Yeah.
I would, there's just people I don't. For
It's a
most
big
people,
account.
for most people, I get a measure. I can manifest a measure of empathy because we are human beings, and the
Right.
human condition is we're going to screw up. That's what makes us human.
The other thing that I've learned, I think from Howard, was that when these magazines call you, first of all, hang up on them if you've done something, because it's almost as bad if they write, Pat O'Brien denies he.
Right.
Because then people say, well, then he must have done it, right? Exactly.
Or no comment. No
Yeah,
comment's
no
always
comment,
the
that's
worst.
Or could not be reached is even better.
Now, cannot be reached.
No, that is better.
Can be okay. You kind of got to determine what is the big picture, what is the end game in this, and how do we want to handle this? And do we want to fall on the sword and own it and hope it goes away, and we live in a world where the accusation you don't have to have truth to get your reputation screwed on the internet.
Doesn't everything go away?
And everything doesn't go away. Bill Cosby's going to be taking his to the grave.
Yeah, but that
Bernie
just kinda
Madoff's
started.
going to take his to the grave. No, a lot of people are going to take their bad behavior to the grave. The question is, can you move beyond this? Like Paula Deen, okay?
Well, I love her.
I would have loved to have worked on Paula Deen because I wasn't in the middle, and it's hard to judge other people's work. I don't think it was handled particularly well. For a lot of reasons, and I think she could have come back in better shape than she did.
Because she didn't have anybody helping her.
Well, she had people,
She did.
but it's like going to your internist when you have cancer. You want a specialist.
You know what's odd is I ran into her at a Lens Crafters a few months ago, Paula Deen. Oddly enough, she was just in there, and she was the sweetest lady in the world. And she asked me, we started talking about what I did, and she was talking about the political correctness in the world today and how there's double standards and how and in certain situations. And she said, nobody talked about the work I've done with African American people or all the stuff I've done over the years. And they kind of focused on something that was done, that was taken kind of out of context and in a weird way.
Yeah, but I look at the original deposition she gave, and I'm thinking, how did she do that in a deposition? Yeah, that. What lawyer let her do that?
Well, that's what I mean is I think when it comes back to it, you're talking about advancing, like you were saying, the 3 A's. I don't think she's ever really come to like a point in her life where she said, I did something wrong. I think she's still trying to defend and trying to deflect it. And that's what I mean by...
And Howard's the kind of guy...
That's what I mean. She should have called you.
I think she would have... What I would have done is immediately turn the business over to her sons, let them make it the Dean family this,
right?
Broaden it, kind of reduce her role, let her apologize, use her as appropriate. But I think the businesses just didn't hold together the way they could have.
Okay, your 15 minutes is up.
Yeah, but can I tell you, I want to be in an Oscar poll with you guys because you guys are heinous.
Well, who do you like?
What do you like?
Well,
we don't gamble. For one thing.
I think Revenant is going to run away with Best
Picture.
Best Picture.
No, that's fine.
Although Spotlight is Runaway is not the right word. Spotlight is number 2.
There is no number 2.
Well, I think Spotlight, I think Inarritu is going to get his second Best Director win in a row,
right.
which hasn't happened since Joseph Mankiewicz, 49 and 50.
You guys saw those movies. I wasn't around.
I think
You can still rent
Leo
them. Go ahead.
DiCaprio is the a shoe in. I think from Room, and help me with her name.
Brie Larson.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think she's going to win, and she was exquisite in that
She's
movie.
spectacular. And the first
And
movie she did was
The Danish Girl, and I think Sly Stallone will probably win, with the caveat being this. I remember a couple years ago, Eddie Murphy was supposed to walk away with it, and who is the Mickey Rourke was supposed to walk away with it. I think Rylance in Bridge of Spies gave an exquisite performance.
I
Mark
agree.
They
Rylance.
always
But-
give one Oscar if it's usually supporting actor, supporting actress is that one they give out, like Natalie Portman, or they give it to the somebody that you wouldn't expect to actually get it. So it's Stallone.
well,
I
you
can
wouldn't
see-
expect, but
Well-
Stallone is a big favorite. I mean, Stallone, come on,
Yeah,
just so they can play it.
He's pretty beloved in the
yeah,
community,
he is.
and he's a
he
good
did
guy.
and he did a great job in the movie. It's a good movie.
Howard Bragman, thanks for coming in, buddy. I love you, and you're great for Hollywood. You're a great guy, and you do a lot of good work. And you can go to 15minutes.com, see the work he does. And you've probably seen him on TV. He's on TV all the time. What's it like being on TV?
It's a weird, number one, because I never it wasn't something I aspired
No, he's good,
to.
though. You're good at it.
And I just try and tell the truth, and
Right.
it helps me understand when my clients go on TV how to make them better.
Thanks
How
for
do-
coming.
How do we compare to Oprah, though? I got to find that out. Are we better than Oprah? Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I've been on
different.
Oprah more
You're
than-
different.
Different.
I love Oprah. I've known her 35 years since I was back a
Here's-
little publicist in Chicago.
Okay, we got to go. Give
No,
Court
we
your
don't.
card.
Court and I are having a lot of fun.
I know. Give
here.
Court your card. He may need
Howard
you
Bragman,
soon.
ladies and gentlemen.
Howard Bragman. Thanks, Howard. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
I'm Pat O'Brien. Be right back. Stay with us.
Experience the difference. Beyond the cloud. Your desktop, your mobility, and your security, 24/7 support. Take your business beyond the cloud. Work less, worry less, effortless.